I can see him out there. I know this game. Helpless, unsuspecting 20-something having a quiet night while the folks are out of town. Sits down to watch a scary movie. The setup is just too perfect. The only chance I've got is getting the first strike in. I'm not fucking going down like some two-dimensional aging star to try and pretend they're a teenager. Tools. What have I got? Enough, I hope. A quick check to make sure that he's still out there. Yeah, he's gone. Nowhere. I can see the mask flowing black. Scream. The film about avoiding film cliches, and here I find one stood in front of me. The only thing between us is the door. I'm pretty sure he can hear my laboring breathing. My not as light as I'd like footsteps. He rings the doorbell. Bastard trying to catch me unaware. I don't fucking think so. I can just about take his knife out and clutch it close to his robe. It looks so dull and tarnished, I'd call it lifeless, but it feels too much like an almond. I edge my way to the kitchen. The closest thing we've got to a weapon is the assortment of cooking knives. Fine, if it's like a knife fight, but I'm going to make the first lunge. I compose myself for a minute, breathing some of the ash from my lungs before stepping back into the living room so I can make my way to the door. He's at the window. Game over. It's now or never. The police will never get here on time. The knife is in my hand. Its weight isn't as nearly as reassuring as I hoped it would be. The handle in the moist, sweaty palm, and I'm trembling so much that I think I'll drop it from behind my back and give the game away. This is it. My heart is practically through my rib cage as I reach for the door. No fear. If you're going down, go down fighting. I wonder if this is how every man on every point felt like when they were in a breaching room. How the brave souls of D-Day felt as they climbed onto their boats. Deaf palatable, real with a face. I twist the lock. The door swings freely with a push. I tasted the air. TR. He stops right in front of me. The knife, I've never felt anything like it. The snag at first hit. The grate as it connected with the bone. The touch of my robe as my hand fished, driving home for my defense. My salvation. It was over. It took a few seconds for any reaction. I don't know if it was enough. I stared back into the black holes, which could be eyes, and saw nothing. Everything in me wanted to burst. He sways. A groan comes from behind the mask. I smell the blood as he falls. I stand trying to will the life back into my limbs. This is the part where they catch you dead. Sure, dead, just as long as enough for you to let your guard down. I drag him to the chopping block around the back and make sure he's not coming back. It's all over. I get back inside, wash up. I cry, and cry a lot. It feels like I've just been lifted from hell. Jesus wrapping a hand around my wrist when I most needed it. I've never been the religious type. Maybe it's time that I've changed. My heart drops right back down from the pit of where I was just lifted. There's a knock on the door. The doorbell rang. I peered inside and saw a group of children and teens dressed as farmers. One looks like a priest, Stephen King, Children of the Corn, religious fanatics, haunted by the bastardist dietary roaming fields. 5 of them, well, there could be more of them, but that means nothing. I've done this once. It's time for the sequel. I twist the lock. The door finally swings freely with a push. I taste the air. Trick or treat! Yeah, I'm not falling for that one.